Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have already discussed about that things with you, how can pass that your option, that means the select option value, and we successfully did that work. So now in this video, I want to discuss about most important one of the part, that list view. Like right now, I don't have any database. Laterally, when we will create one of the project, every project they have some of the multiple data. So when you fetch all the data and if you want to visible it, then how can visible it with the list view? So here in React JS, if you want to visible all that your list data, then first of all you have to fetch all the data from your database, and then first of all you have to add the things with one of the array, and then from the array you can actually visible it. So how can actually all that procedure actually work? So now I want to share that things with you. For doing this, first of all, like here we don't need this. I just simply remove everything. Okay, I also don't need that states, so I just simply remove it, and that is our h1 tag. So here I make the things as a whatever student list actually, so I just name it as a student. Okay, student list. So that will be as a student list. Okay, that will be as a student list, and then that is our form. So we don't need this form actually right now, so better I just simply remove everything from here. Okay, so we don't need this, so I just simply remove it. So that is our first div, and that is our another div. Perfect. So here, so that is our everything. So now first of all I want to actually get all the data. So right now we don't have any database, so better I want to actually create one of the array functions. So into the array function I want to load some of the data. So after that render, okay, so here I want to do that work. So for doing this, I take one of the variable and I just take the things with the constant. So friend, I think you already know about it, and that is a constant, and I just name one of the variable as a names. Okay, and into the names area I want to pass some of the array data. That means I take one of the array, and into the array area, okay, so here I put some of the value. It should be as a, and then I just take another one. Okay, it should be as a b, and then the c, so that will be as a c, and then I take another one as a d, and then e. So for now actually I'm actually adding some of the value. So here I take one of the value as a, b, c, d, and the e. So everything I get it, and here I take the things with one of the constant variable as a names, right? So now after that I have to actually map it. That have also one of the method as in JavaScript as a map. So now I want to actually pass it. So for the reasons here I take another variable with the constant, with the constant I take another variable. I just name it as the items. Okay, so into this items area I take all that our array value and take the things with this variable as a names. So with these names I want to add one of the method as a map. A map. So into the map I just simply pass it. So into the map area they have the two parameter. It should be passed two parameter. One will be as a string, another will be as the index. Okay, so that is actually pass two of this parameter. Make that sure you remember that part, because this will be needed later. We will use it a lot of the time. Okay, so with this map it should be pass two of this parameter. One will be as a string. So right now I just name it whatever you want. So right now I name it as the item. Okay, with this item actually you can visible all that your data, and also another will be as a index. That means all that your specific ID data actually. Okay, so now I just make that name as a ADX. Okay, whatever you want. So into the map area it's passed two of this parameter. One will be as a string, another I just name that string name as an item, and another will be as an index. So for now I just make that index as a IDX. Okay, that means that will be actually our ID. And after that here I want to pass that things with our array function. That means here I just simply pass that our array function. Perfect. Okay, so here I want to actually return it. So now I have to return. So I just simply return the return, and into the return area I just want to return with our one of the li. Okay, so I just simply added that li. So into the li area I want to pass our this string value. That means this is string value. So I just simply pass it on here. Okay, so here I just simply pass our this string value, And also there is an index. As I told you, index is actually the ID. Like when you updated a specific some of the ID data name, there is a one ID data. If you want to edit that B, that means for the B they have also of the another specific ID data, right? So if you want to actually update, if you want to delete, if you want to edit, so every time we will need some of the ID. So that's the ID actually our this index. Okay, so if you want to also show it, better I show you, like here in our key. So here I just pass as a key. Our key will be as our this ID. So I just simply pass that ID. That means when it will be show as a, then it automatically it will be get one of the ID as a 1, the 2, 3, this type of one of the ID actually. Okay, so when actually I run, then it will be very much clear to you. So that is our ID and that is our item. So now I want to do and to visible our all that mapping data and take the things with these items. So now I want to do and to show visible it. That means here. Okay, so here I want to do and to visible it. So that will be as the items. Perfect. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and if you now refresh it, yes, you can see friend, everything is now perfectly get in our li area. Okay, so the li area is now perfectly getting our first one, there is a second, every data, that means every list view data is now perfectly visible. That is all that our array data. And also here there is our index. So if you want to, as I told you, for this one there is an index. Into the index they have some of the default index data as is started from to the 0. Okay, that means that is actually the ID. So also I show you like here I also want to visible it. That means after that I want to visible it, then it should be very much clear to you what exactly that our string value, what exactly our index value. So now if you click as a save all, and now if you refresh it, yes, you can see now that is actually our ID and then that is our string value. That is the ID and that is our string value, right friend? So I hope it's very much clear to you how can read all that your array data and how can visible it. And also if you want to display that your JSON array data, so they have some of the API. Into the API they have some of the JSON data. So that is actually the ready-made some of the API. So if you want to use some of the JSON array data, how can visible it in our next video, I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.